watching, guys, and if you've not already, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and watch till the end, guys. I'm trying to get them watch hours up, so enjoy, and more videos coming out soon. Cheers, bye. Okay, let's get started. First of all, I'm taking a section from the top of the head through to the back of the ears. Taking my first section down the back, using the outside of my fingers to cut, and then I'm using the inside of my fingers going down, taking the rest of the sections. This way I'm building a much softer shape by using the inside of my fingers instead of the outside, and you will see towards when we've finished that the shape looks amazing, and by using the inside of your fingers it's a much softer shape. Going through the sections, around the top section I always use the outside of my fingers. As you will see that I'm always stood behind when I'm using the outside of my fingers, but then when I come to use the inside of my fingers I'm stood around the side, more or less facing the section. I'm always moving about when I'm doing haircuts. I never stay still. I'm always like going from one bit to another bit, and it's the most important thing is that I try and build nice shapes within the haircut, make it quite easy for the customer to manage for the next 4 weeks. So finishing off this right hand side back section, taking it shorter in towards the nape area. And if you've noticed, I always use just one blade usually to cut. The other blade is usually resting on one of my fingers. Going through to the side section, I usually take my sections more or less on where the edge starts to bend, so I get 2 side sections at each side, and then same again, working from the outside of my fingers, and then as I go down I'm using the inside of my fingers for the shape and the softness. And as you will see now is that I'm standing behind the client to cut that first section, and then I'm moving round to the side to cut the second section, which is on the inside of my fingers. Coming to the last section, same again, the outside of my fingers. As you will see there also is that the blade, one blade is resting on my finger and the other blade is cutting the hair. Once that's done, I just go around the hairline. Sometimes I use my fingers for my scissor to rest on, and it's much easier to go around the hairline. Just serrating that back hairline a little bit there, just to finish it off. I always try and work on that the shape of the hair is the most important thing for me. Once I've done the left hand side, and then go on to the top section, and I've got my 2 guides from the sides and the back. That first section is cut to them guides. For the top section, as you will see, one blade is doing all the cutting and the other blade is just sliding off my finger. I'm not pulling it too far back so that I'm getting it longer towards the front. I want it more or less the same length on the top section all the way down to the fringe. This is actually the first video that I'm doing the talking, so hopefully let me know in the messages what you think. Do I keep talking or do we stick to the music? It's up to you guys. Great to let us know. Cheers. Okay, so once I've done that top section, we dry it off and then we start adding some texture to the hair. This client does not like thinning scissors, so all we use is a scissor and we just chop into it, adding texture where needed. Adding a little bit more texture to that top section. So just going over the top, just keep chopping into it so that when she does it herself, this haircut is going to be so easy to do. She could wash and leave it, wash and gel it, wash and dry it, and it's going to look good. Finishing off with a few textured bits around the sides. I also use a bendy comb. So this comb I always found when I was first starting hairdressing, and the way that I cut hair is where that I like to build shapes around the back and the side sections. The bendy comb was much easier to use. I didn't have to do so much bending my back, and the comb made it much easier to cut, really, and I've kept it ever since. I always use bendy combs. Okay, coming up to the finishing touches with the clippers, just going round the hairline, just finishing off. Okay, on to the next. These haircuts that we've got are all short blondes, and the most important thing is that they all want a nice shape that's going to be easy to do and manage. So same thing, I take me section from top of head to the back of the ears, and then my first section is on the outside of my fingers again, and then I start using the inside of my fingers to build the shape around the back. For this one I'm taking the sections down, but as I go lower, I'm not cutting it into a nape. I'm pulling it out slightly so that it's making it a lot more softer, more of a looser shape for the finish. Same thing as you will see that when I'm doing the top section, I'm stood behind, and then when I come to the side sections, I'm stood more or less onto the section itself. But you will see that I'm always moving about. Never stay still. My feet never stay still. I'm always moving to get the angles, to get the shapes that I want. So I hope you're enjoying it so far, and I've got a lot more videos coming out in the future, so keep watching. Just coming to finish the back side section. The same thing, I'm always using just one blade to cut, and it's much easier. I never cut my fingers because it's always just one blade that moves, not two. So coming to do the left hand side, the same kind of thing. I'm using the outside of my fingers to do the first section around the back. As you can see, my scissors then will just slide in off my fingers and cutting, and then I'm moving around to the side to cut the next sections going down. As I come towards the nape area, my fingers are slightly pulled out. And going on to the side section, same thing again, taking the section from when the head bends. The first section outside of my fingers, just one blade cutting the air, and then I'm moving around and cutting on the inside of my fingers. I'm not taking it too short around the ears. She wants a little bit of length. Moving forward, not dragging it too far back. I don't want to keep too much length, but I just want the nice shape there. As you can see, using the inside of my fingers for the second section going down. I hope you're enjoying this so far, and if you want to leave me any messages, ask me any questions about anything, please do. For this haircut, I'm not in Wakefield, I'm in York. So for this haircut I went to York to do this haircut. So going on to the left hand side, the same thing. Outside of my fingers, I'm stood behind her, and then I come round to the side and do the next sections going down. Stood behind her for the outside. And then for the inside, I come round to the side. It gives it much softer shape, and I always feel it's a lot nicer hairstyle when it's a lot softer around the bottom sections. I also do all my own filming, so if you see me looking at the camera, then I'm just checking that I've got the full section on camera. Coming to the top section again, same thing, I've got the guides from the side and the back, and I'm just cutting with one blade. The other blade is just sliding off my finger. There's no way that I can cut my fingers. A lot of people say that, oh, I'm always cutting my fingers, but there's no way that I can cut my fingers how I cut. Just one blade. So around that crown area, she does like it quite short, so we're taking a little bit off there, and then we'll also add a lot more texture to it in a bit. Okay, finishing off with the last section. Not too short around this fringe area. I want to keep a little bit of length to it. Just adding a little bit of texture, chopping into it. So the blade goes in, it's just sliding off my finger. Okay. So now we are using the thinning scissor just to add more texture to it. Usually when I use thinning scissors, it's always on the middle ends. I never really go right down to the root area. For this haircut, I'm just putting finishing touches to around the nape area. I'm just putting finishing touches with my thinning scissors instead of my scissor. Around the fringe area, just on the ends there, makes it a lot softer. Then come to this crown area, I use my comb and I just work in a circle, taking the middle ends and just thinning it just to give it a lot more texture. And when she dries it herself, then it's going to be a lot easier. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that one. On to the next. So this is a clipper guard 2 going around the back and sides, and then it's going to be a lot sharper haircut until we come to the top. I always prefer to clipper dry hair and not wet. Dry hair, you can get the hair when it's wet, you're always sliding bits out, so I always prefer just to do it dry. Okay, so from the back, moving on to the sides. She has actually coloured it herself, and once I've done this clipper work, I'm going to recolour. also. Cutting short hair is, I would say, is one of my favourite haircuts, without a doubt. Because you can do so many, you can do so much. You can chop into it, you can add so much texture, you can have asymmetric. Oh, I just love doing short hair, really. On that front section, we're just taking it a little bit shorter with a guard one. Just taper that up a little bit. This is definitely a style that suits the person and looks fantastic when it's finished. So stay till the end, guys, and I hope I'm doing okay so far. Like I say, this is my first video that I've gone through with you, what I'm doing and what I like and how I cut and things. So tell me if you like it or you don't like it. Is it me talking in the future or is it music? Let me know. That'd be great. And can I just say, if you've got this far, thank you very much for watching, and keep it up. Okay, so now it's coloured. And what we're going to do here is add lots of texture, and just, she's got bits that need cutting off, so we're chopping into it and taking them bits that need to come away, but still keep the kind of length that it is now. Working forward, really taking big chunks away, adding lots of texture. You can see the shape that it's going to be. Shaved at the sides, shaved at the back, and lots of texture on top. You can have it choppy, messy, smooth. That piece there obviously really does need to come off. And as you can see, I'm just using one blade. The other blade just sits on my finger there, and just one blade does all the cutting. Same thing again, one blade is doing all the cutting. And cutting my fingers don't exist really, so I'm just a one blade cutter. All these three haircuts that I've done, they're all clients that come into the salon and on a regular basis and have their haircuts. These are hairstyles that people want to be able to manage at home, want to be able to dry it, wash it, leave it. They want an hairstyle that they can do themselves quite easily. And that's most of my haircuts. That is hopefully exactly how I cut, is hairstyles that are easy to do, easy to manage. They'll last about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then they'll be back in for it redoing. Just adding more texture there, my little twister, and that's it, the finishing. 3 hairstyles, my fantastic blondes. Thanks for watching.